coming up the way you came up, you know what I'm saying, that trap music with the citing the source of the likings of the T.I.s of the world, obviously yourselves, and just putting it into a perspective that I wasn't creating music for folks that can't relate to my music.
Right.
And I think it was Yo Gotti who said it. It's like, bro, when I started hearing Jeezy freely talk about
yeah.
that changed my heart. That took a load off me. Like, I talk about this for real.
You know what it was too, because it was like, well, the culture of the streets is that it's almost like a group of indigenous people. We can speak a language because we're trying to stay under the radar or not let people know how we communicate.
Yeah.
So that language came from the streets. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a street person to know it. And you gotta be a certain level of a street person to know that, because now you're talking on the phone, like you making deals on the phone.
Innuendos.
Right, on the phone. So it's like, but you don't gotta get caught in person.
Yeah.
If you say the wrong thing on the phone, that's it.
It's over with.
So you got your lingo and your code gotta be so undercoded that nobody can pick that.
Man, listen, two things, bro. I ain't never sold no cocaine. I ain't never sold. But listen to this dude, Mr. 17.5. I can tell you how much it's going for right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I think about it, and maybe I'm drawing a blank, and I just would like to think about your impact, because really, coming from Atlanta, repping Atlanta, there was only like a few people. You know, you got the Outcasts, obviously, can't forget about the Gucci's of the world, T.I.s, Outcasts. But I'm like, bro, this dude really...
Chains.
2 Chainz, partner.
Killer Mike. Killer Mike.
Yeah. But it's like, yo, this dude got a deal. Nextel, this fool had Nextel chirps, bro. I got kicked, I got suspended for a Nextel. You know what I'm saying? But it was all derived off of you being true to you.
But see, the thing was that once I realized that I can put the coding in the music and people can still receive it, that's when the game changed for me.
Yeah.
When if it's taking too long to lock up, bring it back.
Yeah.
You show them when
bring
you bring it stack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even know. I ain't had no. When that when that got on the radio, when I heard that on Hot 107.9,
Yeah.
I said, because this is the thing. It's one thing for it to play on the radio.
Yeah.
But it's another thing for all your homeboys from the hood, like, man, you talking crazy. But first of all, one of my partners called me and said, boy, you going to jail. That was the first time. He's like, boy, you going to jail. I'm telling you. And so that made me have to be more, you know, covert and more
conscientious
about how I'm going about it. So that dug me deep, and that's where I really got my pen from. Because now I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to people who understand what I'm saying, and everybody else just like how it sounds. But the reason why I was able to captivate the streets is because I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Like, you know, when you go in a room and you say, hey, look, you know, if you ever look how the streets is broken up into hoods, cliques, gangs, whatever, it's like this is us. But the way I was talking to all of us together.
Yeah.
So no matter what.
Whatever set you claim,
right, whatever you doing.
This music for us.
Right, it's for us. And it was hustlers music because I was able to say things in a way that motivated people. And a lot of that I took from what I learned from Pac.
Yeah.
Because when Pac came and he was saying thug life, you know, everybody thought he was like, you know, promoting violence.
Outlaw.
Right, but if you listen to what he was doing because of his upbringing and how he came up with his parents being the Black Panthers and everything, he knew how to mobilize and gather people, right? And he knew how to speak to them. So thug life was a call out for all of us. Yeah. Right? So
it ain't no color, it ain't no creed. It just like
it could be black, brown, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what thug motivation was about. Because it was like, I'm gonna motivate the people like us. I don't wanna talk to nobody else but the people who understand what I'm saying. And that's why thug motivation was set up like a class, 101. Because you gotta pass this one to get to where I'm going. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you don't pass this, then that means either you got incarcerated or you're no longer here.
Correct.
Cause that's the only way to feel.
And there's only a few of us that can relate to it.
There you go.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My thing, man, it's so, like, my mind racing so much right now because I want to touch on so many different topics. But, like, for you, coming into the game, like, when did it click for you? It was like, yo, like it was taking too long to lock up, bring it back. Like, Boys in the Hood. That was, you know, obviously from that song. But when was that moment where you was like, yo, just really f***ing with this? And then, like, it's like, I got to start taking this serious.
I would say, okay, so Them Boys, I remember doing that verse. So it's two things. I remember doing Them Boys in the studio with Jazzy and all those guys. And I remember Trick Daddy and everybody being there. Now, mind you, I didn't know how to record. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, like, there yet. So it was a certain way I recorded, which was really elementary, but it was my way. It's like, you ever seen Straight Outta Compton? Yeah. You remember when Eazy-E did his part? I was definitely Easy. You know what I'm saying? I was Eazy-E. And so I was doing it. I was writing my verse and I was getting ready to do it. And I kept hearing, like, man, why they want him on the song, man? Dude can't even rap, man. He's terrible. It's taking him 2 hours. What's going on? So I was like, yo, I tell the engineer, I said, yo, shut the door, because I want to show you how I record. So my thing is always make sure that my voice is the last instrument on the track, right? So it's melodies and tones for me. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it. That's what I learned. And there was a certain type of way I had to record. So I sat the door, whatever. We got in there. It took us about 45 minutes. And what I would do was when I get done, I would always go in the hallway and have him press play. And then I'll stand in the hallway because you can hear the sonic, so you can hear the bass, how it would sound in the car. And everybody was just in the studio, and he pressed play, and, you know, the hook go through, whatever, my part come up, I'm standing in the hallway. If it's taking too long to lock up, by the time I was at the fourth bar, everybody in the studio was in the room. And they was losing they was like, oh, it's crazy. And it was like, that was because those guys were really rappers that was in that group. So it was like one of the first times I was like, oh.
You got approval.
Right, right. And that was a big one. But I think the moment where I knew I was on to something was after Trap or Die. You know what I'm saying? Because
the mixtape.
Yeah, because Streets is Watching did okay, but that could have been a fluke. But when I put Trap or Die out, I actually pressed up about 500,000 CDs and we was just passing them out. We was passing DVDs out too, because what I was starting to notice was when I was getting booked for shows, you know, $100, $200, whatever, that I ain't really need, but, you know, I got to do it. People didn't know what I looked like. So I would come on stage and everybody would be like, yo, that's Jeezy. Like, you know, it was weird. So I was like, well, let me just take all the footage I got. And at the time they was doing Smack DVDs. I said, I'm gonna do my own version. So I put the Trap or Die DVD out with the Trap or Die, and I released it like an album, so it had a release date. So the reason why I say I knew the immediate impact of it is because it came out on a date. Like, let's say it came out on a Friday. By the next Friday, they was booking me like crazy, and I would be like walking somewhere through the mall or something, and they'd be like, yo, Cheese, I love you. I'm like, at first it threw me off because I'm a street guy. Nobody's supposed to really approach me. And how I really knew I was on to something, because I was still, of course, you know, doing my 1-2. I would go to my, you know, I might be going to handle some business and walk to somebody's trap house to drop something off. The DVD playing on the screen. I'm like, you know me. Why you watching this? And they was like, yo, this is crazy, nigga. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, these are people that know me. And they're like appreciating my art and telling me how dope this is, right? And it wouldn't be, you know, because I was getting busy. So I go around about 5, 6, 7 different houses, and everybody is watching this DVD. And I just remember going to my crib, and I'm like, damn, okay, what happens now? And it just, you know, and like you, a man of faith, like I believe in God. God happened, bro. It was like one day, it was a big question mark whether I was going to be going to the penitentiary or whatever. And then the other day, the question mark was erased, and it was an exclamation point there. It was like, let's get it. Let's go. Don't even look back. Don't even look forward. The chirp phones I had, I threw them away. I still had money in the streets. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I just took it seriously, and it was just like, I kept telling people, because Trick Daddy, Jazzy Faye and all them was like, why would you give this music away? I was just like, bro, because I gotta go build a base. So it's like the streets. If you got some good work and you go on the block and you go get it away, they coming back. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so it's just
anything.
right.
That could be chicken
So
wings,
right, you feel me?
music, Nickelback. You dig what I'm
said
saying?
chicken wings?
Like chicken wings, lemon pepper.